Good morning again. Welcome to the Burgess-Shadbush Nature Center. My name is Miss Faith. For those of you who don't know me, I normally do nature tales here at the Nature Center. And today our story is going to be How to Be a Nature Detective. And the book is by Millicent E. Selsam, and it's illustrated by Marlene Hill Donnelly. How to be a nature detective. What happened, a detective says. Who was here? Where did he go? A detective has many ways to find out. One way is to look for the marks someone or something has made. Fingerprints, footprints, the tracks made by bike tires. Sometimes a detective finds a hair, a button, a piece of torn clothing. All these things are clues. They help a detective answer these questions. What happened? Who was here? Where did he go? You can be a detective too, a special kind of detective, a nature detective. Nature detectives find tracks and clues that answer these questions. What animal walked here? Where did it go? What did it do? What did it eat? Where does a nature detective look for clues? Almost anywhere. In your backyard, in the woods, in a city park. You can find tracks in many places, in mud, in snow, in sand, in dust, even on the sidewalk or on the floor. Wet feet or muddy paws can make tracks anywhere. Here is a problem for a nature detective. Here is a cat, and here is a dog. Here is a dish for the cat and a dish for the dog. The cat's dish had milk in it. The dog's dish had meat in it. Who drank the milk? And who ate the meat? Let's look at the tracks. Look at the tracks that go to the cat dish. They were made by an animal that walks on 4 feet, and you can see claw marks in front of the toe marks. A cat has 4 feet and sharp claws, but so does a dog. Who went to the cat dish? We still don't know. Let's look for more clues. Now, look at the other tracks, the tracks that go to the dog dish. Did you ever watch a cat walk? A cat walks on 4 feet, but the tracks of his hind feet fall exactly on the tracks of his front feet. So his footprints are one behind the other in one line. They look like the footprints of an animal with only 2 feet. A cat pulls his claws in when he walks, so he doesn't leave any claw marks. So now you know who drank the milk, the dog. Now you know who ate the dog's food, the cat. The footprints of a fox are in a single line like a cat's footprints, but they have claw marks like a dog's. What kind of footprint does a rabbit make? You can see that the rabbit has little front paws and big hind feet. The front paws will make little paw prints, and the big hind feet will make big tracks. Now here's another problem for a nature detective. Who went lickety-split across the snow? A rabbit, of course. But which way did he go? Did he go to the tree? Or did he go away from the tree? It looks as if he went toward the tree, doesn't it? You can see the marks in front of the paws ahead of the big hind feet. But do you know a rabbit jumps? Look at that. When a rabbit jumps, he puts his big hind feet ahead of his front paws. What happened here on a snowy day? You can see the rabbit tracks in the snow. You know which way they are going. All at once, the rabbit tracks are far apart. This means the rabbit began taking big jumps. He was in a hurry. Why? Did you see those tracks coming out of the woods? Those footprints have claw marks, like a dog's, but they are in a single line, like the tracks of a cat. Who could have made those tracks? There's only one answer. A fox. Now you know why the rabbit was in a hurry. Did the fox catch the rabbit? Let's look again at the picture on page 17. Let's look carefully. There's the rabbit. He's inside the tree. There are hoof prints in the mud near the river, and there are little hoof prints too. Who went there? It was a mother deer and her baby fawn. They came to the river for a drink. Somebody sat down on the muddy bank of the river. Who? This is the mark of a round, fat belly, and these back footprints were made by webbed feet. And somebody made the tracks that go right into the water. A bullfrog came out of the river. He sat on the muddy bank to rest. And only a snake leaves a track like that. A snake came down to the river, then he slithered into the water. There are more tracks in the mud near the river. And there is a little pile of empty shells, too. They're crayfish shells. The tracks look something like the hands and feet of a baby, but look at those long claws. A raccoon made those tracks. Raccoons like to catch crayfish and eat them. So now you know what happened. A raccoon had dinner here last night. He found a crayfish in the river, and he ate the crayfish, and he left the shells in a little pile. A nature detective can find many clues on a sandy beach. When you walk on a beach in the morning, look for seagull tracks. They can tell you which way the wind was blowing when the gulls were there. Like airplanes, seagulls take off facing into the wind. First, the gulls must run along the sand to get up to speed for takeoff. As they run, their toes dig deeper into the sand. Here are the gull tracks, the gull toe tracks in a line facing east. So you know that the wind came from the east. Tracks are good clues for a nature detective, but there are other clues too. Who lives here? Who lives here? A nature detective learns to look, listen, and smell. She can find clues in backyards, in woods, or in city parks. Who made that smell? I think it was a skunk. Do you know who made these tracks? Follow the tracks and see. So the top ones are the dog, because they have the claws. Then the single file with no claws is the cat. The fox is single file like the cat, but with claws. And then we have the rabbit, and your deer, and the frog. They didn't put the belly in with it, though. The snake, the raccoon, and then the seagull. So that's how you can be a nature detective. So when you're out and you're out by the water, you can look in the sand and see if you can find tracks. In the winter is a great time to look at tracks too. Today our craft is also going to be a snack. So you're going to take a cookie and we're going to make tracks on cookies with frosting. So let's get ready and we're going to do our craft for how to be a nature detective. I have samples first, and I'm going to show you them because I want to see if you can guess what the track is. So the first track is this one, and remember from the story, we have our track, and it has the paw print, but there's no nails. And if there were another one, it would be right behind the other. So this would be which animal? It would be the cat. Okay. And then we have this one. And this one does have claw prints, and it looks similar to the cat's. So that could be the dog. But again, think about what if we had to look for sets. If you saw 4 prints, you would know it was a dog. But if they were behind one another, it would be the fox, because the fox walks like a cat, one behind the other like an inline, but you'd only see 2 sets of footprints. And then I made this one because this one's really simple, and that one would be what? It would have been the snake going to the river. Okay, so how do we do this? So it's really simple. All you're going to need is cookies. And I just go to the store and get some of this fancy cookie icing. And you cut the tip off, take the cap off, cut the tip off. And then you're just going to draw your paw print on there with the frosting. I can get it to work here. And I usually do the outline first. And then squeeze it through to fill it in. And then you're going to just put your little toe prints as well. Okay. If you were doing the snake, you just do a swirl like this. Now remember, this is your craft. This is your snack. So there is no perfect way to do this. As I always tell kids, it's not got to be perfect like mine. It's what you want to create. It's your creation. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this in really quick. And I also brought a little knife to help spread it, make things easier. You don't need that for the toes, but doing the big part of the paw. Now, if this had been Nature Tales here at the Nature Center, you would also be getting a snack, and this would probably have been the snack I would have made for kids, and we would have done a different craft. But so you get a little bit of both at home. I did it this way. So this one is going to be either the fox print or a cat. And there you have it. Okay? So be creative, have fun at home with your family, and enjoy eating your cookies.